All right, hold on a second, everybody. I am getting us to go live. And let's make sure we are. All right, it says we're starting. All right, so we are live, and hold on a second. I'm going to pull this up on my phone. It just enables me to see what all's going on just a little bit better. Providing I can get into that. There we are. Hold on. Beautiful. All right. And unfortunately, I used the @everyone this morning, so it's not going to work, but I am going to put this on here. All right. All right, so we can see in just a minute. Oh, I know what I can do. Let me look and see. Oh, it says it's having trouble with streaming to the destination, but it shows me on here.
Facebook just said you were live.
Yeah, so why is that saying we're not? All right, so Wendy is here. We've got people here. Randy is here, so it's obviously working.
If Randy's here, it's a party.
Yeah, even if it says over there that it is not, it is definitely live. I'm glad I pulled it up on my phone. So hello, Randy. Hello, and hello, Wendy and Lynn. Thank you guys for being here. And if you know somebody that would benefit from being here, send them a quick thing. Get over here and get to the live, because I can't look and see who all said they were going to be here, so that I can tag them. That I can think of. Let's see. No, I don't think so. All right. So you guys, like I said, I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to be driving and hopefully listening. Okay, Lynn. And then is it Tavia? Is here. She's watching. If you want to participate and talk to us, make sure that you say hello in the comments. Let us know that you're here. And my name is Vickie Poole, and I'm a master transformational coach and a hypnotist, and I am the founder of this group, Stand Up and Stand Out. So I am more than excited to have Angie here. I was just talking to her for just a few minutes before we got on, because I was explaining to her that I was so excited. Randy says I'm driving. We'll be back soon. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, Randy. But I was so excited about Angie wanting to come live in our group, because I just had a conversation with a couple of people about the legalities around the work that we do. And even if you're not hoping to be this big name, there are still legalities that are really important for us to be aware of. And because ignorance is not bliss when it comes to this kind of thing. And the thing about Angie too, because I've met her, and she's fun. She is just a very different personality as far as an attorney than you would expect. And so I'm really happy to share her with you guys. Okay. And if you want to, Angie, go ahead and tell a little bit about what you do, because I'm not giving you enough credit here, I'm sure.
All the kind words. I appreciate all of it. So I've been practicing law for 26 years. I'm a big old contracts nerd. I love them. It's just one of those struggles that I go through. I love contracts. But one of the things I've noticed over the years, because I'm also a certified coach, and my sweetie and I have he's an artist. We have his business as well. As I was interacting with coaches and online entrepreneurs and marketers and other artists, there's so much confusion, and even, I'm going to say, fear and resistance to doing some of the basic things that are law related to protect your business and yourself. And so I thought, what can I do to educate people and help them understand that this stuff doesn't have to be scary? Some of it's complex, but really helping people get from the uncertainty and maybe avoidance to understanding.
Hold on a second. So, Randy, are you saying that you don't see Angie on the screen and you don't hear her? So maybe we need to, because that's what it was.
Oh, do you need to add me to the?
You're on here on my screen. Okay, she doesn't. So I don't see you on my computer. So maybe it's your part that's disconnected. So let's do this where, let's see if it tells me. I don't know why it's not showing you. So why don't you pop off and then come back in and see if that resolves it? If not, we can stop. All right. She said she saw you for a minute before, but now you're gone. So go ahead and leave. Just get out of here.
I'll be right back.
All right. We're going to see if maybe she will show when that comes. Now, why it's still showing. Let's see. I have no idea. But let's give her a minute to pop back in, and then we'll see if same here. I don't see or hear her either. Okay. So we're going to see if that'll fix it. And if it doesn't, then we'll figure this out in just a minute. Every now and then Facebook does this to me. And so I apologize. All right. So where is she? Oh, here she comes.
How's that?
All right. So give it a second. Let's see if it populates you on here. You're still not showing up on there. So would you guys be open to just going onto my YouTube and watching there? Or there's not that many of us on here. I could just give you I could just share the link because it'll hold up to 10 people. Randy says tech and I'm not at home. Well, it has to do with Facebook. You know how it does that every now and then.
You want me to try from a different browser?
Do what?
I could try from a different browser.
Okay, because
I mean, try that real quick.
All right. So hold on, guys. I apologize. We're going to see if we can get this thing to work. All right. So give it a minute. Let's just see. And if not, everybody can either join us on YouTube because it looks like it's streaming on YouTube. Fine. Okay. You're still not showing on there. So I don't know. So, would you guys want to just come onto this platform with us, or would you rather just, what is the YouTube channel link? Let me see. Hold on a second. I can tell you. So give me just a second to All right, so let me copy and paste this here. All right. All right, so that is the YouTube. If you guys want to hop on YouTube so that we can keep going, because for whatever reason, this is not sharing to Facebook. All right, so are you guys all okay with just popping on YouTube? All right. You can't hear us on YouTube? What the heck?
How's that?
Jeez Louise. Okay, so Maribel is on YouTube. She can hear us and see us both. So anybody,
We love that about her.
Yes, I do. I do. I love that about her. So let me get back over here. What the heck? I'm losing track of where everything is. Oh goodness. All right. So if you can use that link and get over to YouTube. All right. Beautiful. Well, a little bit of a delay there. So go ahead and Angie,
Yeah.
the floor is yours.
Thanks, Vickie. So, all right. So where were we? Yeah, I've been a lawyer for 26 years. And one of the things I've noticed is that people get really nervous when you talk to them about legal stuff. And so one of the things that people do, and you and I were talking about how you see people do this with hair, right? One of the things that people do when it comes to legal stuff is they're more comfortable asking another coach or another marketer or another artist for advice about what to do, but they think lawyers are really, frankly, kind of scary. So really the purpose and the mission of Happy at Law is to help educate people so that people can get more comfortable with all this legal stuff and they have a foundation to be able to make choices for their business that are empowered and that allow them to really use contracts to lay the foundation for good client relationships, but also make choices in their business that set them up to, like we're going to talk about on Saturday at the event, to set them up to protect what they're creating. Because it's really kind of heartbreaking to see people make mistakes that are affecting their ability to protect their own content or their secret sauce, right? But I do see it all the time just because people don't know.
Yeah. I'm hold on. I'm trying to put this link in here again. All right. Let's see if that helps.
Yeah. So that's really kind of what our mission is at Happy at Law, right? It's helping people get empowered to where they don't feel like they need to be afraid when they think about these things, and really to have a place to come and ask a question if they're worried their question is kind of dumb, right? Like, how are you supposed to know if you don't know?
Mm-hmm.
And the person that you're asking in a group for coaches or group for entrepreneurs, or you're Googling on the internet, might not be the whole answer. And it might be that you just need some basic information to be able to understand what you're seeing and finding. And so that's what we're doing. We're helping people learn that stuff.
Yeah, because one of the things I was sharing with you a few moments ago was that when I was at the cabin with one of my friends, we're writing a book together,
Mhm.
and she has a an amazing coaching business that she has. I think she's trademarked and all that stuff. But she was talking about going on and using Chat GPT to do a few things, and the one thing I told her was
Yeah.
that she wanted to listen to talk to you first because I didn't want her to be giving away the rights to her property, even though she's got it trademarked. It would still be, in my opinion, from what I knew, that as soon as she put that in there, her property into the Chat GPT, then it belongs to Chat because it's going to be sharing bits and pieces of it when
Yeah.
people ask questions that might pertain to that.
Yeah, and this is actually a big area of uncertainty right now. Like when ChatGPT hit the scene in November of 2022, it really kind of changed how we do all these things. And some of what people don't understand is just the technology of how the tool works. So that when you put something into ChatGPT, it's not just that you're asking it a question, it's that the AI tool is going out and checking all of the other information that it has, including information that other people have input as prompts to come up with an answer for you. So if you have a process or a protocol or a catchphrase that you use in your business that's, unique to you, it's your personality and your creation, and then you put that into Chat GPT or something it's a big public domain AI tool like that, you're basically saying to the tool, hey, this is how people talk. You should use this when you create content for other people. And it'll start spitting out similar things in other people's
Yeah.
results. So
Now
then you're
that you,
whack-a-mole trying to catch other people using your stuff.
yeah. So with
Yeah.
that thought, what happens when you're using Canva and some of those that now have the AI tools?
Yeah, same thing. Like all AI tools kind of work on the same idea, right? Is that they're basically good predictors. Like the GPT and Chat GPT stands for generative predictive text.
Next. Yeah.
So it's predicting what the next word is that you want, and it does it really fast, and it does it a lot of words at once, right? So when you're putting a prompt into Canva or something like that, it's still making that tool smarter. So now everybody who's using Canva has your content that you put in there as part of the basis that AI tool is going to use to spit out the next result. And that's how we see the content getting generated get sort of generic over time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how your ideas actually get sort of gobbled up by the AI tool and spit back out as part of other people's results. And that's where it can get really tricky. So the public disclosure of putting it into the tool, has that eroded your right to say that's just yours, right? Whether it's
Right.
trademarked or a copyright question or I mean, goodness gracious, if you think you have a patentable idea, I wouldn't go near an AI tool with that, because the secrecy of that idea until you start the process is really important. And we're not talking
Right.
about patents this Saturday because that's kind of next level complex, but and really kind of
But it's good to know.
it's good to know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what we want to do is we don't want to be scared of AI tools like that. That's not going to do us any good. And we know that there's some efficiency and some gains we can get from them. So the choice then is, if I understand how the tool works and I understand the basics of how copyright works, then I can make better empowered choices in what I'm going to put into that prompt and what I'm going to do with the content that comes out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we want to help people with.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So have you found, like, with the people that you're working with now, that some of them have really given up the ship kind of thing without even being aware of it?
I don't think we know the full ramifications yet.
Okay.
And so really what we're doing is focusing on getting the word out and helping people learn what the risks and benefits are so they can avoid that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I think are gonna come are the people who are And actually one of the bonuses that we're going to have this Saturday, we're calling it the AI tracker tool. We've actually created a workbook so that if somebody wants to do a big project with AI, right? And there are people out there that are selling courses on write a book with ChatGPT.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, I see it too, And so what we want to do is give people some basic rules they can follow and a tool so that they can say, well, here's how I created it. Here's how much of this book was actually from my brain as the human creator versus, came out of the AI tool.
Because it has to be what percentage?
Well, that's the tricky part. There's no number.
Okay.
And the US Patent and Trademark Office is really struggling with this right now. I think the UK folks have a little better number-based thing, but I haven't been able to verify that yet. Here in the US, they are literally writing the rules right now. And the reason is back in 2016, there was a court case about whether you had to have a human creator to have AI. And if you want to Google it, it's the Naruto monkey selfie. So 2011, there's a photographer. He's in Indonesia doing wildlife photos. He sets down one of his cameras. A monkey walks over and starts snapping selfies. Now, the photographer did not actually create those photos because he wasn't holding the camera. He hadn't done anything special. The monkey walked over and started pushing the shutter button. And there was actually a court case where PETA sued the photographer on behalf of the monkey and said, you owe the monkey royalties because the monkey owned that photograph. And it went,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so now this case settled, and the photographer does sell signed versions of that photo, and a percentage goes to animal charity organizations. But the rule that you have to have a human author to be able to claim a copyright is still the rule. And AI tools are not human.
Right.
So what do we do with that? Not knowing yet what the rules are going to be. And so our best guess right now is that it's going to be some kind of substantially created rule. And so that's why we created this workbook, so you can keep track of, I used this tool, I put this prompt in, here's all the other things that were part of it, activities that I did to finish out the created work, right? The thing that I made. And that's going to be how you show later on that how much of it you created versus how much came out of the tool. So that's one of the things that we're going to share with people on Saturday. Is given that tool.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
So let's say I did a live video. Let's say we took this live video and we decided that we wanted to put the transcript of this video into ChatGPT or one of the other AIs. And we asked them to use this material to write a book or create a, some kind of document to share with people, right?
Yeah.
Then, all it did was take our words, and we didn't say, just do this. We said, use this information. So if we're doing that, are we really safe with we created it?
Yeah, we don't know the answer to that for sure.
Okay.
But that where you're basically saying, take what I created in the video and transcribe it, that's a pretty mechanical act, right? So I'd feel pretty good about that. With the caveat of what we talked about earlier of depending on which tool you use, if the tool itself is going to take that information and start putting it into other people's content or using your phrasing as part of learning how people talk to create other content. Like I'd be a little concerned about that piece of it. But basically, if they're your words, I'd be less concerned about that scenario. And here's the other piece of it is that there are times where the content we want to create, let's call it, lower priority content in your business, in your set of business content. So if it's a lead gen or an ebook or something you want to send to a traditional publisher, right? That's going to need to pass a higher bar of I created this as the human than, let's say, an email sequence, right? Like maybe want to put the whole transcript into an AI tool. Maybe I want to say, hey, here's an excerpt of, because prompts will do this, right? Here's an excerpt of something that I said in a video. Write me 3 email subject lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I really care if I, give away the copyright on email subject lines? Maybe I
Right.
don't. And so I, as a business owner, because I know the rules, I can make those value judgments for myself and say, I'm comfortable doing this, but I want to draw the line here. And that's what we really want for people, is to have the information to make those really good judgments as the business owner, right? And you know how it is, like, because you're creative in all your businesses, with the hairdresser being a podcaster. When you're a creative and you are creating content, a lot of times we don't think of ourselves as entrepreneurs. And so even just the idea of saying, oh, I have business assets in the form of these created materials, and how do I preserve and protect the assets, right? Like, that's a weird way to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can sort of make that leap to say, oh, I create things. I don't build tables. I create videos and content and things for people to read and enjoy and look at. But it's still an asset of my business, just like it was design schematics to build a table, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think about it differently, and I can actually put that value on it and even like celebrate and appreciate that about my creativity in my business, that it's a money generating asset. And so that's a piece that is sometimes a mindset shift that people
Right.
to
That
make.
makes sense. That makes sense. One of the other places that I use AI is that, when I record my podcast, of course, I can't put the video into ChatGPT, so I use other tools to get the transcript out, and then I actually have to get like a synopsis of it, a little bit of information, and then I'll put that into ChatGPT and have it help me with generating the description and the content, because I used to spend so much time rewatching the actual podcast because I'm in the middle of the podcast. I'm not taking notes. I want to listen.
Right.
So then I would go back, and the amount of time I would have to spend another hour watching it and then dissecting. And so it saved me so much time. But is that kind of giving away your property as well?
Well, it's still going to make the AI smarter, right?
Yeah.
And I think here's where choosing a tool makes a big difference.
Okay.
So one of the things that's and that's where you want to look at the terms and conditions. So, whenever you sign up for one of these services, they always have the button that says click here that you agree to the terms and conditions, and none of us click on it. None of us ever read it, but we click the button because we want to get the thing, right? Unless you're a big old contracts nerd, and then you go in and read them.
Sometimes I do, believe it or not.
Well,
I'm not a contract nerd, but I've been bitten a few times.
Yeah. And so that's where, especially if you're deciding between a couple of different tools, you can go in and look. And these AI companies are getting smarter about people's concerns. And so some of them will say, ours is a closed system, or ours is a proprietary model, so it's not out on the internet, right? Some of them will say things like, Microsoft just did this, I want to say yesterday. They just announced that they have a little gizmo when you go to the Microsoft browser that will summarize daily news. And they were getting that daily news from some big journalistic websites and newspaper publications and all of that. So they were basically sitting their tool out to go read other people's stuff and digest it and summarize it and repackage it as their own. Like, that's basically what they were doing, right?
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
that's what these AI summary tools do. Well, they had a little chat with some of these big companies, and yesterday they announced that they're actually going to license and pay money to those companies to have their AI tool access the content, right?
Okay. Well, that
And they've
sounds
said,
legit.
we're only going to access things that we have rights to. And it all comes down to these copyright questions of, what does the AI tool have the right to go get for you? And what do they have the right to do with it? So companies are getting smarter about that, because, I mean, honestly, I think it's going to be 10 years before we have like cases go through court systems and all of that. I think it's going to take that long for us to figure this out. because it's been such an incredible shift in the technology. So
Right.
our strategy
And
now,
who knows how it'll change in the next 10 years.
right. And that assumes that there's no statute, right? That there's no new law that says here's how we're going to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our strategy now is we learn enough about copyright and how trademarks work and how that stuff works that we can make good decisions to put ourselves in the best position to later on say, no, my book was my human creation, even though I used Chat GPT or I used there's one just for writing books. I can't remember what it's called, but I used whatever to do my book outline, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was really not the meat of it. The meat of it
Right.
came out of my brain or my
Right. Right.
and so that's what we want to do. That's our strategy now. How do I set myself up given the uncertainty? But some of these AI tools are getting smarter about people's concerns. And so they're putting things in their terms and conditions like we're a closed system, right? We don't process everything that's out on the internet.
So is that something that we should look for?
I would look for it just to know, right? And then that's going to help me, like Chat GPT or Bard or some of these big open ones. You know, if I just want to know, hey, what are 10 ways people could de-stress because I want to do an email or I want to do a post about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get the list and I'm like, okay, I like number 3. I'm going to do a post about number 3. That's pretty low risk. The risk there is that the AI tool has gone out and stolen somebody else's list of 10 things and brought it back to you. And you think that that's, something that's fair game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, I did read a lot of the rules and all that stuff, but I don't even remember what the hell they were.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm very attuned to that. Like there's some of the little emoji things that you can sign up to be able to create and everything. And in there it says that it has the right to all of your photos. It has a right to this and it has the right to that. And I think, how important is this to me? No, it's not important at all. And I see
away
people
all your
using
photos.
Yeah. I see people using this
thing
all the time. And it's like, okay, but
you just don't know. I mean, it's not because they're dumb. It's just because they don't know. Nobody's
there's some of them I have said something and they'd said, well, I don't have anything to hide. There's no big deal. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think we can always figure out a way to make it work for us if that's really what we want to do,
Right.
Well, I wish there's just nothing happening over there. And I wish that we could see if anybody was posting or asking questions, but I can't see a doggone thing.
Well, we'll go in. I'll look at the comments. If it's a question I can answer in the comments, I don't mind doing that. We'll go.
Okay. So what I'm going to
later today. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do when we finish here is I will take this and I will share it into the group. And and so maybe people can go in and watch the recording and then ask questions. So maybe later this evening or tomorrow, take a look at it and see if there's something.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Let's see. Joella is here. She said that was awesome, ladies. Great conversation. Thank you. All right. So we got 2 people on here listening.
And if people are, I know you've got a thing on Saturday towards the end of the day. If people are free midday Saturday, I'm Happy at Law's bringing in a couple of intellectual property lawyer experts. We're going to do an event and we're going to teach these basics and we're going to help people lay the foundation to really navigate this stuff. Thank you. I think that's the link you just shared, but we'll make sure it's in the comments. And we just want to help.
Put it in the comments. Did I not? Hold on a second. We put it in the comments. There we go. And there you go.
Yeah.
So
it's a very long URL,
isn't it?
That's how you know it's good.
A tiny one, Of course, then it gets lost what it is, and people think, "Wow, what was that link? That I don't know where it goes."
That's all right. We'll put a clicky one. We'll put a clicky one in the comments. Yeah, because it's good. I mean, the thing is, people work so hard and they bring so much of themselves to, whether it's a coaching strategy or a new way of seeing the world, or, you know, a 5-step plan to help somebody change a part of their life that they're really, you know, really wanting that transformation. And so we want people to have the foundation to be able to protect it appropriately and care for it, and be able to use that and really change the world through that for
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And I apologize for all the snafu stuff, but it's not me. I don't know how much of it is StreamYard and how much of it is Facebook, but I will be honest, I've been having a little bit of an issue with Facebook not liking me
Oh.
too much. So it keeps, the past couple of days, you know how you can message people?
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
will
yeah.
message one person and it'll say, you've reached your limit for 24 hours.
Do you know
And
what
then
it did
one
to me the
person-
other day? I was getting ready to go live in my own group, and I was going to try and have somebody with me on the live. So we did it, and then I changed the time, and then did something else, and then I ended up changing the time. And then Facebook was like, "You're restricted," and it made me stop and click an OK every 2 characters I typed for like the rest of the day.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding.
It happened.
It just tells me, you
Yeah,
know,
you were typing too fast. We're gonna make you click a button, show
I
that
don't
you're
know. It's
human.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you for being here. And then I will share this video into the group, and then I will also share the link. But when you go in, you know, just check and make sure I've done it correctly or whatever.
That sounds great.
Sometimes
Thanks,
I need
Vickie.
somebody to be tending to me. But thank you again, and I'm going to do everything I can to be there on Saturday. But I will be working in the salon, so we'll see if I get
We'll
finished
see.
in
We'd love
time
to see you there.
to get
Yep.
in there. But if not, I'll watch the replay.
Excellent. Excellent.
All right. So thank you everybody for your patience today. And if you're watching the replay, put #replay. And as you listen, go ahead and ask questions in the comments so that when Angie gets back and looks, that she can answer them for you. She'll reach out to you specifically. Correct?
Yep. Yep.
All right. Beautiful. So again, thank you so much for being here. And we will see you. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, and
Yes.
Angie will hopefully see you on Saturday. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye. Mwah.